Kayode Moshood, Akiolu. I represent the people of Lagos Island Federal Constituency 2. Mr. Speaker, I'm from Lagos State. Mr. Speaker, the topic of my motion here is immortalization of Dr. Stella Ameyo Adadevoh. Recall that in 2014, Dr. Stella Ameyo Adadevoh, a Nigerian physician, risked her life in a bid to curb the spread of Ebola virus in Nigeria by placing Liberian-American diplomat Mr. Patrick Sanya, whom she suspected of having the virus, in quarantine. Also recall that Mr. Sanya entered Nigeria from Liberia to attend the Economic Committee of West Africa States, ECOWAS, conference in Calabar, the Cross River State capital. But on arrival at the Lagos airport on the 20th of July 2014, he collapsed and was taken to First Consultant Medical Center, a private hospital in Lagos, where late Dr. Adadevoh worked. Note that despite the initial positive malaria diagnosis, Dr. Adadevoh remained suspicious and got Mr. Sanya tested for Ebola. Despite the personal risk, threat, and diplomatic pressure on her to discharge the diplomat to attend the conference while waiting for the outcome of the test, she refused, stating, for the greater public good, she will not release him. Also note that the Liberian government are threatening to sue Dr. Adadevoh for kidnapping and holding the diplomat against his will. Regret that by quarantining Mr. Sanya in the hospital, Dr. Adadevoh and some of our staff became infected as Sanya was diagnosed with Ebola, from which he eventually died in the hospital on the 25th July 2014. Cognizant that the Nigerian health sector was not prepared for the Ebola virus, hence Dr. Adadevoh and members of our medical team had to make do with the resources available to them, and in the process were exposed to and eventually died from the virus. I appreciate Dr. Adadevoh's bravery, professionalism, which saved Nigeria from a devastating impact of an uncontrolled outbreak of the Ebola virus, and thus prompted the government, good-spirited individual and organization, and the international community to deploy resources to curb the outbreak of Ebola virus. Further recall that the actions of Dr. Adadevoh were that allowed for a swift, strategic, and coordinated containment process of Ebola virus in Nigeria, and all possible contact with Mr. Sanya were established and quickly contained, and consequently, on the 20th of October 2014, the World Health Organization declared Nigeria Ebola-free. Aware that Nigeria recorded a total of 8 deaths out of 20 Ebola cases, with 11 health workers being part of the victim, of which 5 died, including the proactive Dr. Adadevoh, who died on the 19th August 2014. Also cognizant that Dr. Adadevoh has been consistent in her act of patriotism, even before the Ebola incident, as in 2012, she was the first doctor to issue an alert to the Federal Ministry of Health on the need to take proactive steps when the H1N1 swine flu spread to Lagos, an action that contributed to averting the outbreak of the flu. Concerned that the failure to give due recognition to the heroic act of Dr. Adadevoh could dampen the spirit of patriotism among Nigerians, especially healthcare workers, and possibly deter others from making sacrifice for the nation. This has resulted to observe a mini silence in honor of Dr. Adadevoh, our medical team, and all Nigerians who died from Ebola. Urge the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria to recognize the heroic act of the patriotism of Dr. Stella Ameyo Adadevoh and the medical team, and confer a befitting posthumous national honor on her. Also urge the Federal Ministry of Health to assess and certify Nigeria emergency preparedness against unexpected epidemic. Call on the Federal Ministry of Education and other related authorities to ensure that the inclusion of the heroic deed of Dr. Adadevoh and other such national heroes in the country's civil education curriculum to build spirit of patriotism, nationalism in the young ones. Further urge the Federal Ministry of further urge the federal government to recognize and provide every support necessary for Ebola survivors and the families of Ebola victims. Mandate the Committee on Healthcare to ensure on healthcare services to ensure compliance. Thank you very much, Honorable Right Honorable Speaker. Thank you.